Have you ever wondered why sometimes you feel something is going to happen even before you make a decision? That's because manifestation works at the quantum level, and it begins before your conscious mind even decides. The human brain is not the starting point of reality. Instead, it is a receiver, like an antenna, picking up frequencies that already exist in the quantum field. This means the outcome is already created in possibility, and your mind simply tunes into it. That is why manifestation doesn't start with thought. It starts with vibration, with frequency, and with energy. Quantum physics reveals that reality exists in multiple states at once, what scientists call the superposition. Only when observed does one possibility collapse into a single outcome. What does this mean for you? It means your desires, your goals, your dreams already exist in potential form. Before you consciously decide to want something, the seed of it is already vibrating in the quantum field, waiting for your attention to bring it into your reality. Manifestation, therefore, is not about creating from nothing. It's about aligning with what's already there. This is why people experience synchronicities, déjà vu, or sudden clarity about a choice they haven't made yet. The subconscious mind picks up on quantum signals before the conscious mind registers them. Think of it like your inner being is already walking into the room, sensing the energy, while your conscious mind is still opening the door. Quantum manifestation happens at that subtle level, and by the time you decide, your higher self has already nudged you toward the outcome. Imagine wanting financial abundance. Most people think abundance starts with deciding to become rich. But in quantum reality, that wealth already exists. What happens is your vibration begins to align with that reality, and then your conscious mind makes the decision to pursue it. So, the decision isn't the starting point, it's the recognition point. The manifestation was already unfolding behind the scenes before you even became aware of it. When you realize this, you stop forcing manifestation through willpower. You no longer chase after outcomes with desperation. Instead, you allow. You shift into alignment. You let your energy resonate with the frequency of what you desire, trusting that it already exists and that your conscious mind will catch up to it at the right time. That is the secret of effortless manifestation. It doesn't begin when you decide. It begins before that, at the quantum level. This also explains why your intuition is so powerful. Intuition is the bridge between your subconscious and the quantum field. It bypasses logic, time, and linear thinking. When you suddenly know something without evidence, it's because your being has already collapsed that possibility into your field of awareness. By the time you consciously act on it, the manifestation is already in motion. Let's look at relationships as an example. You meet someone and instantly feel a deep connection. That bond didn't start in that moment. At the quantum level, your energies had already entangled before you even became aware of each other. Your mind later decides, this feels right. But the manifestation of that connection was already happening in a realm beyond thought. Science supports this too. Experiments show that particles respond to observation before the conscious decision to observe is registered in the brain. In other words, the quantum field knows your intent before you do. That means your desires are already written in energy, waiting for you to align and allow them into form. So, how do you use this in daily life? The key is not to overthink. Instead of trying to force decisions, practice tuning your energy. Meditate. Visualize. Feel the frequency of your desire. When you do this, you align yourself with the version of reality where that desire is already true. Then your mind will naturally decide to move toward it, but the quantum field was already working long before that. This also explains why people struggle with manifestation when they doubt or overanalyze. If you believe manifestation only begins when you consciously decide, you limit yourself. But when you realize manifestation is happening before thought, you let go of fear. You trust the process. You understand that the quantum field is always ahead of your logic. Think of it like this: your conscious mind is the last to know. By the time you think, I should start a new business, The quantum field has already begun arranging opportunities. The people, the ideas, the money, they were already in motion. Your decision is simply the conscious acknowledgement of what was already being created. That's why successful people often say they just knew it was going to work. They didn't wait for evidence. They trusted the unseen quantum movement. By doing so, they collapsed those potentials faster, allowing manifestation to show up in their lives with clarity and speed. This is the art of surrender. When you let go of the need to control every decision, you begin to flow with the higher intelligence of the universe. You realize that reality is being orchestrated for you. You don't have to push. You simply have to align. The quantum field does the heavy lifting. Have you noticed how sometimes the best opportunities come unexpectedly, without planning? That's not luck, that's quantum manifestation. It happened before you even thought to pursue it. Your job is not to figure out how, but to trust that the how is already forming. The decision comes later. The manifestation starts first. This perspective frees you from stress. It means you no longer have to worry about missing your chance. You can relax, knowing that what is meant for you is already vibrating toward you. The only thing you need is alignment. To raise your vibration so you can match the frequency of what's already waiting. Think of manifestation like a radio. The station is already broadcasting. Your decision to tune the dial doesn't create the music. It only allows you to hear what was already there. That's how the quantum field works. Your desires are the music, your alignment is the dial. When you practice gratitude, meditation, visualization, or affirmations, you're not creating from scratch. You're tuning your frequency to match the already existing outcome. That's why sometimes results come instantly. Because the energy was already close to alignment, and your conscious decision was just the final step. This also explains why fear manifests quickly. Fear is also a vibration. If you hold it strongly, it aligns you with realities where your fears are true. And once again, your conscious decision to worry wasn't the starting point. Your energy already called it in before thought. That's why shifting vibration is more powerful than forcing decisions. So manifestation is not about thinking harder. It's about feeling deeper. It's about understanding that energy moves first, then thought follows. If you want to speed up your manifestations, stop overthinking and start aligning with the frequency of already having. Here's the magic: once you embody this truth, you stop chasing, and things begin chasing you. Opportunities, people, resources, they flow effortlessly. Why? Because they were already on their way before your mind even noticed. You simply aligned, and now you're receiving. Every manifestation you've ever experienced happened this way. Think back to your best moments. The job you landed, the person you met, the perfect timing of events. None of them started when you decided. They began in the quantum field, and your decision was just the conscious entry point into that reality. The more you practice alignment, the easier it becomes to trust this process. You start to live in flow, no longer worrying about how or when things happen. You know that manifestation always begins before thought, and all you have to do is step into the frequency of already having. So remember, this manifestation doesn't wait for your mind. It happens before. Your decision is not the beginning, it is the recognition of what's already true in the quantum field. Trust this, live it, and you'll discover that reality bends in your favor more often than you ever imagined.